Former Singapore President Halimah Yacob has spoken out once again on the ongoing crisis in Gaza, posting a strongly worded message on Facebook on 24 March. In her post, she criticized Israel's policies towards Palestinians, drawing attention to the forced displacement of homeowners, the disregard for international law, and the moral responsibility of the global community. Halimah's post was accompanied by screenshots of two news articles. One about Israel's Security Cabinet approving the recognition of 13 new settlements in the occupied West Bank, and another on the staggering death toll in Gaza, which has surpassed 50,000 since the war began. Israel's Security Cabinet has approved a plan to separate 13 Jewish settlements from their parent communities, effectively recognizing them as independent settlements with their own councils and additional funding. Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, who played a key role in advancing the decision, has described it as a step toward Israel's de facto sovereignty over the West Bank. These settlements, originally built as illegal outposts without formal government approval, have now been retroactively legalized. The move has been widely condemned by the international community, with concerns that it further undermines efforts to achieve a two-state solution. Singapore has maintained a firm stance on Israeli settlements, with Foreign Minister Vivian Balakrishnan reiterating in a 22 July 2024 speech that Singapore considers these settlements illegal under international law. He noted that such expansions make it much harder to arrive at a negotiated two-state solution. According to the Hamas-run health ministry, over 50,000 Palestinians, equivalent to 2.1% of Gaza's pre-war population, have been killed since Israel launched its military offensive. Over 113,000 others have been injured. The war has intensified following the collapse of a temporary ceasefire. On 17 March, Israel launched large-scale airstrikes across Gaza, including in Khan Yunis, Rafah, Gaza City, and Deir al-Balah, killing at least 342 people. Hamas accused Israel of unilaterally ending the ceasefire, while Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu defended the attacks, citing Hamas's refusal to release hostages. Halimah's post aligns with Singapore's official stance on the conflict. On 19 March, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs expressed grave concern over the renewed hostilities and escalating civilian casualties. An MFA spokesperson urged all parties to resume negotiations towards a permanent ceasefire, emphasizing that all civilians must be protected under international humanitarian law. Singapore has also called for the immediate release of hostages and for humanitarian aid to be allowed into Gaza without obstruction. This is not the first time Halimah Yacob has spoken out on the crisis. In February, she condemned US President Donald Trump's remarks about Gaza, where he suggested that Palestinians should be resettled elsewhere while the US takes over the territory. Halimah denounced the proposal as a clear violation of international laws, likening it to the 1948 Nakba, when hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced. Her continued advocacy highlights the global moral and legal concerns surrounding the ongoing violence in Gaza and the West Bank. With mounting international pressure for a ceasefire and renewed negotiations, her latest remarks add to the calls for urgent action to address the humanitarian catastrophe.